Hello y'all, we're back with another video. This is gonna be kind of different because I usually do voiceovers, but now I'm just gonna be walking around in Minecraft. This is our server and it's getting shut down after 5 years of playing. We started it back up in COVID. I mean, this world is like over 10 years old, but that's not the point. The point is how I don't feel real. That's gonna be the topic of today's video. And like what I mean when I say I don't feel real, it's not like I know I exist and I know I'm conscious, but it's just the problem that I don't trust my senses and I don't trust my perception of reality. You know, because there's things like my mood's all over the place. You know, I wake up one day and I'm fine, and everything's great, and then I go to bed, and then the next day I just have no energy and I just can't get up and I just hate everything. And it's just like this just inconsistent pattern of thought and feeling is just fucking tripping me out, dude. I remember that. But yeah, it just doesn't feel real, man. And like, what doesn't make sense is why I am the way I am. You know, like my name isn't actually my name. It's just the label that's been put on me. Like I am not in any association with my name. And so, like, that just kind of freaks me out, dude. That's what freaks me out. And so I figure, you know, there's got to be a cause for all of these things. And so, what is that cause? You know, why do I act this way, or why do I like this thing? Do I get to choose like the things that I like? Like, did I get to choose that this Minecraft skin would be a fucking a fruit? You know? Because that's what I came up with. But, you know, did I get to choose that? And if I did, then why? And if I didn't, then what the hell caused it? You know, what did make me choose it? You know, and that goes for every aspect of my personality. So for this reason, I don't really think personalities exist. I think that, like, the wiring of the brain is different, and that's just kind of, like, the underlying factor. Which, you know, I don't believe in the material world, but, like, the scientists would just say that it's just the wiring of your brain. But there's got to be something deeper, because, you know, we have to be connected to something. If the material world is the only world that exists, then, you know, nothing matters. So it's just nothing makes sense. I'm just floating around trying to uncover myself. It's like, you know, people around me say that it's just an identity crisis, but like there is no identity to be having a crisis. You know? What is the original origin of my soul, of my being, of my conscious experience? Like that question, it just completely obliterates all talks about personality or like we're all just unique individuals. Like, unique from what source, you know? It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. So that's just kind of what I've been trying to figure out. And I don't think I'll ever reach an answer, but nothing makes sense, dude. Nothing makes sense. Floating around on this rock. It's a nice house. But I don't think I'm real. Real in the sense that I have a name and, like, you know, I am my own individual, because I'm not. I'm just a product of the environment, you know, basically. Because I didn't get to choose any of this shit, dude. I didn't get to choose my name. I didn't get to choose what house I grew up in, where in the world, what time I was born. You know, I didn't choose to be born in the United States, you know. So, and I didn't get to choose my parents. So, like, all these things about me that, like, you could attribute to me, they were not things that I got to choose. And so I reject it. You know, it all doesn't make sense. I didn't get to choose that. You know, I like making YouTube videos, I guess. I didn't get to choose that the resources and the things I like because of the environment. So, like, so then am I just a product of the environment? Oh, I wonder what this was. One of the homies built this, kind of recently. Weird. But you know, I didn't get to choose any of it. So that's why I don't trust like my own instincts or like my own. Like I don't know why I like the music I like. There's no reason. Just some stuff I fuck with and some stuff I don't. And that goes for everything. And I don't know why. I don't know why that is. And so I'm skeptical. I'm very skeptical. There's got to be something deeper here. I know it's not only me, you know. I just don't think that the ego. I think the ego is a big illusion. You know, the ego doesn't exist. I am not the highest. I'm not the highest thing ever. I'm literally just like everybody else, and just it's just a fucking coping mechanism. You know, all narcissism. Like that's all narcissism is. It's just like a massive coping mechanism, and it's like insane delusion as well. Wow, that's really a product of its time. It's just a huge delusion, you know. Because, you know, anybody with a reasonable grasp of reality would know that this doesn't make sense. Uh-oh. Wet cement. Sorry, these are... Huh. Oh, this house is cool. So, everything that I was thought that I knew and I was grounded to, turns out it was a fake illusion. And that's kind of what sent me spiraling, because it's all just an illusion. Everything, all the connections that I had made, and all the fun that was had, it's just me grasping on to like what I thought was correct, objectively true, when in reality it's quite the opposite. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So confusing, dude. It's just so confusing. So, I mean, you know, you've heard of the ego death. And the ego death is a pretty cool phenomenon. Just kind of you lose your sense of individuality. Because individuality doesn't exist. Holy shit. What the fuck did I just stumble into? Yeah, we're getting out of here. So individuality doesn't exist, so the ego dies. And when there is no ego, what remains, you know? What is the conscious experience if not attached to a material vessel or an idea? The idea that I am me. You know, I am this name. I am Labyrinthine Reef. However the fuck you pronounce that name. It's a good word though. You know, I just attribute that name to myself. It doesn't actually come from me. I'm not actually a source of anything. I haven't gone over here. It's just messed up, dude. So that's where we're at. When I break out of this, I'll either be even more depressed or I'll be enlightened, because I want to get spiritually, like the only source of hope for me is to find another world, like a world beyond this material one, whether that be like, you know, the gates of fucking heaven or like spirituality, you know, like the fourth dimension. You know, because that has to exist. There's too many stories and there's too much, you know, knowledge out there for it to be fake. Well, I'm not saying I'm gonna like, you know, KMS, but mom and pop shop. Soul Sand is interesting. I'm not saying I'm going to KMS. I'm just going to say I'm saying I'm practicing meditation and mindfulness because that seems to be what'll help me. Because once I know that another world exists, then I will truly know that I am nothing, and then all the pressure of life will be off. I'll stop being insecure. I'll stop being, restricted by my own ways of thinking. Because I'm biased in a lot of ways, and I'm deeply flawed. And all I want to do is just be a vessel of kindness and love, kind of, depending on the mood. But mood is connected to stress, and stress is connected to modern day. Oh, holy, it's the purple room. There's like a flash in the past. I haven't been in this world in so long. We stopped playing around after COVID ended, and the friend group has not been the same since. Luke Smith, 2022. God damn. So I guess those are the thoughts. I don't feel like I'm done though. I'm gonna cruise around more in this little area. We gotta go to the mountains. So it's all an illusion. Everything that I've been conditioned to believe is an illusion. Not to get into conspiracy, but I think it's just for control. Most kids are just so... Oh my god, I fell in. Most people are just so addicted to, like, technology and to, like, TikTok and fast food that they don't even, like, realize that we're supposed to be the creators. We are supposed to be the ones who create. Huh. I don't want to look at signs. I don't want to dox myself. Those signs could say anything. But they're just conditioned to believe that they're just like consumers. That the point of life is to consume. And it's such a shallow life. And I think that most Americans just literally don't have the intelligence to change. And, I'm hoping that I can fucking break out of it. But, it's not looking too good. And I don't exactly have high hopes for doing so. But, like, the mind is just such a limiting thing, and I reject the mind. I don't want to think in the way that I think, and I don't like how I have feelings, and, like, the external environment controls those feelings. Like, I want to, like, literally ascend to, like, an ultimate plane of being, like, still existing in the physical world, but just, like, having it completely locked down. Just being an unstoppable warrior, basically. But maybe that'll never happen. Maybe I'm just stringing myself along, but it's goddamn better than what this world has to offer. With this world as is, everything's going to shit right now. And what can we do? Huh. Did I build this? This kind of looks like something I would... Yeah, okay, actually. There's a... I don't want to expose too much because there's pictures down there. Like custom maps. But it's a cool place. Icon Apartments! Luxury living for cheap. So I guess, man. I guess that's kind of it. I don't like this. I don't like this world. I don't like my perception of this world. The only problem is me. Like all my problems just come down to them being me. So there's Kane. Oh my god, it's Euchariah, dude. Holy shit. I gotta say hi to Euchariah. Holy shit. I remember this dude. Hey, Euchariah. Hi, Plays. The game might have been updated. And the commands might have been fucked. What if I type it? Euchariah. But this guy used to be like a full NPC. Like you could react with him. You can engage with him, but I think the fucking Minecraft updates changed it, and the commands are all messed up now. Sad. Sad. But yeah, it's my thoughts on existence. Consciousness doesn't make sense, evolutionarily speaking. And the biological mind is our biggest weakness in modern day. You know, it's a tool for great good, but now it's just kind of used as, now we're just little dopamine pleasure seekers who have no will to do anything. And that's just kind of how it is. And that's just kind of what it will be. And the world will move on regardless. Regardless if I exist or not. So that's comforting. Not much is comforting, really. But I don't think comfort is a good thing. I probably shouldn't aim to be comfortable, you know. Probably should aim to, you know, learn discipline and build like useful skills so that maybe one day when I graduate I could get a job that actually pays me money in this horrible economy. You know, I didn't get to choose to do any of this. I just got thrown into the mix. Now I have to deal with it like a man. But, you know, maybe I'm here for a reason. And maybe, you know, this biological, material, physical world exists for a reason. And that reason will reward me one day when I die. You know, when I die, it'll feel like no time has passed. Oh, dude, I think I built this. This is cool. Yeah, I was cooking. This was this is the schizo house, I think we called it. I think we all just, like, me and the homies, we just grabbed a bunch of blocks and we just started, like, amalgamating a goddamn mega structure. Looks like we never finished it, though. But yeah, this was the schizo house, I think. We had a good foundation for it. But yeah, this house is what I'm leaving the realm with. That's the best I can do. It was comforting to build, but yeah. All right. But I guess, hope that made any sense. I hope you figure out your mind, and I hope you figure out your reasons. And if you disagree with me, then I disagree with you. But we can still respect each other. Simple. Because, you know, I don't know how you should live your life. Whatever. Alrighty. Later.